I'm gonna do one more piece and get out of here. Y'all looking a beautiful audience. I have 3 albums of poetry, one of which is with me tonight. It's called The Awakening. If you already have The Awakening but don't have the earlier ones, then by all means, go online. I have cards. Is this still on? Yeah, by all means, go online and do get them, because some of the stuff I'm doing is on the earlier albums as well. But this piece is not on any album. But I promised myself I couldn't do any more features without doing this piece, because it's a piece that I feel is right for the time, you know? Sometimes you, as an artist, I think we can all relate to, sometimes when you write something and it just feels like it's right for the time, you know? It feels like you were in the right place for it, and also if you're writing about, you know, stuff that's going on in the world, it's relevant. And there's a time when a poem can be about, you know, personal issues with women, or men if you're a woman, or that doesn't make any sense. Human beings, personal issues, right? There's a time when a poem can be about how good I can spit and give you lots of, you know, nice lyrics. But then there's also a time when a poem should be a message, and this poem is a message, and I hope that you enjoy it. And this last piece I'm doing. My energy. One more time, get up for Milo and Rain. My amazing accompaniment this evening. We've never practiced. We just did one show before this, so I really appreciate you brothers for coming out and helping me out. Yeah, so goes like this. All right, so you know a lot of stuff. If anyone watches the news or listens to the radio, you know what kind of crazy mess is going on in the world right now. In London, you have the riots. Y'all aware of that, right? They're burning down London all over England, right? Y'all aware of that? Are y'all aware of that? Yes? No? You aware of that? Happened in Philly as well. Kids taken to the streets. Got nothing left to do. I mean, I'm sure y'all know the job market isn't good, right? Right? Y'all looking for a job, some of y'all, right? Bills going up, gas is more expensive. All of this happening right now. We live in an amazing time. An amazing time. Change is right on the horizon, believe it or not. So, this piece is for that. And we still can't see what is right before our eyes. It's cozy inside, but it's raining outside. But when the blood from the streets starts to seep through your door, your windows are closed, but it soaks up your floors, what will you do? When deny no more you can this death, this phenomenal war. See, for centuries these chains have been locked in our minds, promising freedom, concealing the lies, misguiding the people, by muffling the cries of the suffering masses, pulling the wool over your eyes, so when the towers came tumbling, you stood there surprised that the whole world was hurting and you never realized. But when the lines were drawn, we stayed silent as sheep. And our children couldn't think because we drugged them to sleep and changed their curriculum, taught them not to be critical of oil and bankers and corporate criminals, drug companies with greater revenues than some entire nations, but cancer and AIDS are still destroying civilization. It means we're paying to be kept sick instead of learning to heal. We need to stop being polite and start getting real. But reality TV has us too numb to feel and too dumb to squeal when they cut into our flesh and bone, distracting us all for a nominal fee. Malcolm said it plain, and we still can't see that slavery is past, but it never left. Just changed its form to oppress more efficiently. Now it's a well-oiled machine, led by the struggles of the meek. The gap between rich and poor has never been greater. In fact, the top 1% own land, air, and sea, and squeeze the middle class until they struggle to be, and they use fear to rule you. But is fear your master? You go to church on Sunday to hear the words of your pastor, but go right back on Monday to your corporate cell. And you think you're in heaven, but you're living in hell. See, all along we've been warned, but the veil has stayed down. We are born, we work, we go into the ground and feed up our futures to our feudal lords. Our sheriffs of Nottingham, our Sherwood Forest is filled with the hungry who are so desperate to eat. They for a chance to compete, but contrary to belief, life is no competition. Everything has the right to exist. Use your intuition. Follow your spirit. Reclaim your perspective. Take some time with the silence and find that pain is reflective. A state should mirror its people. We were built to be free, but it gives way to evil when the people can't see, so listen close. Listen close to that little voice inside of you. And if you can't hear that voice, look to the person next to you and ask them. Ask them if this is what Jesus meant when he taught us how to love. And if this is what Gandhi meant when he said we should be the change we wish to see. And if this is what Martin meant when he said that in the end we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends as they fall by our side, and the dreaming ends, and the dark hits our eyes, and it's storming outside, but we can't see new walls made of American pride. Our brothers and sisters are dying. The whole world is at stake. But there's a fortune to be made in making sure you're not awake, making you believe that you're different, when to them we're all the same. From a bomber in Gaza to a hacker in Ukraine, from a teacher in Tampa to a factory worker in Bahrain, we are all merely pawns in their phenomenal game, and let the chips fall where they may. Just don't be surprised when the consequences come, and you still can't see what is right before your eyes. It's cozy inside, but it is storming outside. But when the blood from the streets starts to seep through your door, your windows are closed, but it soaks up your floors. Tell me, what will you do? But deny no more, you can. This death is phenomenal war. I'll be seeing y'all again real soon. Don't go over yet. Don't go over yet.
Hey, yo. This is my man, Dr. Reggie Eldridge. Be sure, hey, you got a few CDs left back there, man. Be sure you get one of them. Hurry up, man. Rush down to the table. Get one of them CDs. All right. Real. Come to the stage, man. Go ahead. Bless us.